In recent years, the YouTube group / person known as Game Theory or the Game Theorist have skyrocketed through the ranks of YouTube with their radical theories on gaming, mostly put together by MatPat. Some of these theories have become much more notorious than others. One in particular is the infamous Link is Dead theory that suggests the entire game of Majora's Mask, grab the 3D version, whoa! Is actually a quest through the 5 stages of grief that is brought forth from Link's untimely demise. MatPat states that the land of Termina and its lands are actually the physical representations and manifestations of the 5 stages of grief, which are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. MatPat goes into great detail with this theory, suggesting that the reason why the inhabitants of Termina resemble those you already know in Hyrule is because they are people Link already knows that fills up his personal purgatory. Oh yeah, I forgot to go through that nutshell. Yeah, MatPat states that Link is dead. The fall he suffered in the beginning of the game was fatal, and that's why he's dealing with grief while sitting in God's waiting room that is Termina. Yikes. Hey guys, I'm HMK. Welcome to my hectic hyped channel. As a fellow theorist, of course I had to take all of this into account and do my own research to see if this actually holds water. But without doing some research, my super duper Zelda brain was able to pinpoint certain missteps in this theory. Some of these are big and some of these are small, and I've been advocating that for over a year now, but I think it's high time to clarify in an actual video while making some additions on what I think about the Game Theorist and our practices. And before you guys get into the assumption that I hate MatPat or I'm simply bashing this theory, come on guys, grow up. I'm not one of those butthurt fans that instantly is ready to put up my dukes when a dogma of a game is challenged. I love MatPat's content, and I enjoy watching his videos, especially this one. They make you think, which is fun. What does get me pissed off is when people start to spread and believe these theories are facts, spewing ignorance simply because it makes sense. None of these videos are pure fact. He even says it himself at the end of the videos.
It's just a theory. A game theory.
Well, more on that specific subject later on in this video. This video is going to take points within the theory that Link is dead and break them down analytically and precisely, and any red flags we come across will be dealt with accordingly with actual Zelda info and facts that we can debunk it with. Lastly, this video isn't only going to focus on the Link is Dead theory, but it's also going to analyze video game theories in general. When it comes to the actual representations of the 5 stages of grief, that's pretty much on point. However, MatPat didn't really come up with this. This thought has been floating around the net since around the time Majora's Mask first released, so yeah. Next, MatPat likes to argue about the world of Termina. Where is it? How can a country so close to Hyrule have a moon ready to wipe it out, and Hyrule isn't doing anything about it? And how did you wind up in a country after you fell in a hole? Is it underground? How could there be a sky? Well, that part is simple. As pointed out by numerous amounts of text in Hyrule Historia, Termina is actually an entirely different world that is parallel to the world of Hyrule and exists in another realm. Stay till the end of the video for a theory about that. One of the big kickers in this theory is that Link died from falling in the beginning of the game. Though not factual, I tend to believe that he survived from this fall for a number of reasons, including the cushiony flower and the fact that he survived worse falls from that in his adventure in Ocarina of Time. One huge deal that is connected to this theory that has red flags all over it is the hero shade. We all know by now that the hero shade is the spirit, please remember that, it's pretty important, of the hero of time, the direct blood ancestor of Link in Twilight Princess. Now you don't understand how many times I'm bombarded with this extremely false piece of info, but the hero shade is not a Stalfos, and this video is to blame for the birth of that ridiculous notion. MatPat and Peanut Butter Gamer, come on dude, state that the hero shade is Stalfos-like, and even bank on the thought that Link gets lost in the Lost Woods and becomes a Stalfos, which will be tied with his fate of dying in Majora's Mask and will lead to his appearance in Twilight Princess in the child timeline. Now there are a multitude of reasons why this part of the theory is false. First and foremost, the hero shade is not a Stalfos. He is a spirit. Not only does Hyrule Historia confirm this, but his design as well. The only thing skeletal about him is his face. His limbs are obviously covered by skin, although he's still a spirit. And if we look at the actual designs of Stalfos from Twilight Princess, you can see right away they do not match by a long shot. The hero shade is actually much closer to that of the soldier spirits in the Hyrule Castle. Forgot about those? Oh look, their faces are skeletal too. Does that make him a Stalfos as well? Give me a break. Second is that you have to be lost in the Lost Woods to become a Stalfos. Link was raised as a Kokiri and has successfully navigated through the Lost Woods multiple times in his adventure of Ocarina of Time. So the theory of him getting lost in the Lost Woods is highly unlikely. And one of the more important facts that debunk this is even if he got lost in the Lost Woods, he wouldn't even become a Stalfos. This fact is so overlooked in this theory by fans everywhere it's almost laughable. Children who get lost in the Lost Woods become Skull Kids, and adults who get lost in the Lost Woods become Stalfos. Last time I checked, yeah, this is young Link we're dealing with. So taking the context that Link died as a child in the Lost Woods to become a Stalfos is early and radically dismantled. But while I'm on a roll here, let's add another fact to this list that actually helps dismantle this entire theory of Link dying as a child. Number 4, this guy, Link from Twilight Princess. But what does he have to do with Link not dying as a child in Majora's Mask? Well, that's simple. Because Twilight Princess Link is the direct blood descendant of Link from Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, aka the Hero of Time. In Hyrule Historia, page 115, states that Link is a young man from Orden, whose veins flowed the blood of the Hero of Time. Further, in page 118, it addresses him as Link, the descendant of the Hero of Time, and that the Hero Shade, the spirit of the Hero of Time, is Link's ancestor. Now with these facts, there is no way Twilight Princess Link would exist if Link died as a child in Majora's Mask, because in order for Twilight Princess Link to continue the bloodline of the Hero of Time, obviously Link would have to grow old enough to sire a child and start a bloodline that will eventually produce Link in Twilight Princess. So I mean, this theory was fun on the surface level, but it can obviously be ripped apart very easily with some glaring facts and holes. Not to say I'm bashing it, because I'm not. What I will bash is when people honestly think that these are pure proven facts when they're obviously not. These are theories, and theories in general are supposed to make you think, question, and experiment to try and get an answer out of a question. You're not supposed to follow blindly because it's popular or supposedly makes sense. I mean, it's cool to bring it up like, hey, have you heard of the theory or the possibility that Link may be dead in Majora's Mask? That's cool, but when you straight push stuff like, hey dude, Link is dead in Majora's Mask, trying to throw it around as fact, that's when we have a problem. I mean, come on, at the end of all of the videos, MatPat specifically states that it's just a theory, a game theory. Now, moving away from the Link is dead theory, I've got mad respect for Game Theory, MatPat, and all they've done on YouTube as a fellow theorist. And many people on my channel have been asking me when I'm gonna collab with him. Well, let's see, 32k versus 4 million and counting, yeah, the common ground isn't there. Maybe once I hit 100k, but I would rather collab with Yuri of Wind. He's my inspiration. I love him. Anyways, what I like to point out is our distinct style in theorizing in video games, and the practices of many who try to theorize on gaming. While MatPat loves to create theories that can be based around anything in gaming and receive backup from real-world sciences and equations, I solely theorize on the lore of video games and only use their laws and practices as support, well, for now at least. That's because it's my belief that certain laws and sciences that exist in our world can't possibly be carried over into the worlds of magic, elven swordsmen, amazingly powerful teenagers, and creatures that carry limitless destruction that can be contained in a sphere no larger than an orange. It's because of this that many theories have the potential to fall apart with any sign of reliance on those notions. If something like this is specifically mentioned or existent in a game's history and lore, then it's fair to use, such as the multiverse theory in The Legend of Zelda and the timeline split. In short, when MatPat or anyone else who tries to follow his style of theorizing makes a theory, they incorporate things from our world into the theory, trying to get the spectacle of a revelation. But when I theorize, I'm sure to only include sciences and truths that the game series that I'm theorizing about have and allow from their world. I'll use these facts and clues to piece together answers to mysteries that resides in the annals of the game's lore. I know it sounds restricting, but I find that more well-structured theories are created using this practice. Mysteries and questions in gaming really only have their lore and secrets as pieces to complete the puzzle they present to you, not something that exists outside in that specific world. Not to say it can't be done or it shouldn't be encouraged, it's just my personal belief and style of theorizing. But at the same time, I can't help but think that radical inclusions like this are slammed into theories just to force a reaction from people. But hey, that's just a theory. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to HMK to keep up to date with all the awesome content and theories that get posted here. Don't forget to like, favorite, and share this message around as much as you can. And if you're new, check out one of my Majora's Mask theories. Be sure to click the annotation here for the video. Until the next theory, I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.